Mondays are one of my favorite days because I just feel like I get a lot done in the kitchen. And especially today with getting this as your standard order in, I'm feeling very productive. I mean, hello, it's not even, well, it's almost 11 o'clock, but I have picked up my bulk grocery order and I have vacuum sealed something. That is, if I do nothing else today, I'm gonna take that as a win. Okay, let's get mixing some sourdough. Okay, first things first, hair has to be up. It was kind of up, but kind of bugging me. And I don't want anybody to pull a big long hair. There's sourdough bread. Oh, I know that would not be very tasty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, for sourdough, I have my scale, I have my starter, and what else do I need? I need a bowl. I think these are correct. But there's not one in there, so hold on just a second. I have you guys sitting in my cabinet. Okay, glass bowl, coming right up. Got it. Okay, glass bowl, flour. What else? What else? What else do I need? Water. Water. I need water. Oh, let's see. I need a measuring cup of some sort. Not really, just a bowl. I just need a bowl for water, bowl for flour, my scale, and we're ready to rock and roll. So, I'm also gonna need some salt. Salt. I don't know if that's enough, but it'll work. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is get my flour and put it in my bowl. I'm gonna measure it, and I am looking for 1,360 grams of flour. Okay, I need to make sure this is on the correct unit. I'm gonna do grams. So I'm gonna put my bowl on my scale. I just got this scale off of Amazon. I'm sure I could just drop a link in the description for you. All right, I don't need, this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much this weighs. I'm gonna tare it or tar it or however you'd like to pronounce that. Make sure it goes back to 0 grams. And I'm gonna add the 1,360 grams of flour into the bowl. Okay, I have my flour measured out. See, that's a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm good with working with that. So now I'm gonna take this off and I'm actually gonna measure my salt. So I'm gonna go ahead and tare this again, tare it, tar it, however you like to pronounce it. Okay, I had to refill my salt. Okay, so we're looking for 27-ish grams of salt. I say ish because remember, I'm not like super exact on most of my things that I cook. Oh, whoa. That was like a big thing of salt. It's okay, we can break that up. So there you go. Okay. Let me zero that out before, just in case. Okay, so now that I have my salt and I have my flour, I just need to get my water. That did not zero out. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, I'm gonna go over here to my water cooler and I'm gonna get water. We love spring water, it's our favorite. And I'm just using cool water. I'm not doing cold and I'm not doing hot. Check out the little plant babies back there. I did find some mold on some green beans. And I'm sad about it. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know. I have to message my farming friends and be like, hey guys, I found some mold. What do I do? Because it makes me really sad. I know that that means that they need more sun, but I'm kind of at a loss right now because I have these lights, but in Texas for this next week, it's not gonna be very sunny. So I am kind of like, oh, stressing me out a little bit, but I'm trying not to be too crazy about it. Okay, so I filled that bowl up with water. But I need a bowl that I could pour said water into while it's being measured. So here we go. Okay, this is my bowl that has the water in it. I'm probably gonna have to get some more. I don't think that's gonna be enough. You guys, this scale is so mad at me today. Okay, at least it came right back on. I was like, why did it go off? Okay, it's on 0 grams. Putting my bowl on, gonna tare it back to 0, and I'm gonna add my water. So I'm looking for 884 grams of water, give or take. Again, we're not like, you know. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm so close, I'm so close. I feel like, okay. All right, I'm so close, but I feel like I usually need a little bit more water than I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and that could be fine. Like that could be enough water, but I just usually have to add a little bit extra water. So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I get it up to 884 and then just have a little bit sitting over there extra. So when I start mixing the flour and water together, if I need to add a little bit, I'll have some. And if I don't use it for this, I can always put it in my starter when I feed it. Okay, here we are, 8:48. A little splashy. Oh, see, I went over a little bit. Okay, I think you guys see a theme here. All right, so after that, I'm gonna pour in this magical stuff, the starter. So I'm gonna tare my scale back to 0 grams. I'm gonna do 140 grams of starter. Take the lid off over the sink so that way it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, check that out. Can you see it? Oh, it's gonna pour out. It's so bubbly, you guys. It's so bubbly and so happy. Okay, so 140 grams of starter. I try not to go over the 140 of the starter because I just don't want it to be too much. Okay, I did go. Oops. You guys, seriously, you can bake bread even if you're not a perfectionist, because I am not a perfectionist. So just know that if you feel like you have to have it all right to be able to be successful and do it, just know that that is actually not true. Okay, so here's what my starter in my water looks like. I'm just gonna give that a good stir. Just kind of incorporate it a little bit. Okay, and then kind of scoot it over to the side. You guys, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna have to eat something in a minute. All right, so I'm not gonna add my salt right now. I'm gonna do that later in about 30 minutes to an hour. I'm gonna come back to this once it's mixed and mix the salt in. So I'm just gonna set it over to the side. It can hang out. It is not needed right now. Its services are not needed. And we're just going to add our sourdough and water mixture to our flour mixture. And then that's where it gets really fun, friends. Get all of that yummy starter in there. Okay, put this bowl in the sink. Look, that's my bowl. For last night's, whatever we had. What did we have? Oh, pizza. We had sourdough pizza crust last night, and it was like a quick dough because I didn't mix it a lot, like early. I just mixed it and then put it in my dehydrator for about 30 to 45 minutes, and it actually worked pretty good. The reason that you would put it in your dehydrator would be to like speed up the fermenting process, which is what makes the bread so wonderful and fluffy and all the things. Okay, so now you're gonna see I am putting my hands, clean hands, washed them, into this mixture, and I'll show you what I'm doing. It has an auto lease, maybe. My friend Renee taught me this. This is like therapy. This is like play therapy, you guys. So I'm just getting in here. I'm actually gonna set you guys down and get in here with both hands. And do you see how I'm just mixing it? I'm just mixing the water starter mixture in with my flour. Both hands are gonna be in here, just kind of mixing it all together, pulling it all together. And seriously though, this is like good therapy right now. Okay, I added a little bit of water to my dough, and this is what it looks like right now. It you can kind of see, it's still pretty moist. It has kind of the consistency of chunky vomit. Yeah, that's about right. So anyway, you can see it's pretty moist, and I'm just gonna put a towel on it like this, and I'm gonna leave it on the counter. And then I'm gonna come back in about 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm going to sprinkle this in and work the salt in. Okay, there it is. I covered it with a Christmas towel. This is a very lightweight towel. I'm covering it, and now I'm gonna do some cleanup because I kind of got a hot mess going on. And I was using my toaster and my recipe box to prop you guys up on. Okay, I'm heating up some, you can see it back there, mushrooms and onions, but I'm having a little appetizer of a muffin. I got this recipe from Venison for Dinner. It's kind of like a basic sourdough recipe that you can just like add whatever you want in it, and it's delicious. I put chocolate chips in it. Oh, I was really hungry. I was on the verge of hangry. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, which would be really difficult to do with a mouthful of muffin. Okay. I'm fighting the urge. Oh, that's a terrible feeling. I'm also heating up the last piece of pizza from last night's leftovers, sourdough crust. We just did mozzarella cheese and caramelized mushrooms and onions on ours, Greg and I, and the kids just did cheese because they don't like mushrooms. I don't know, you guys. I don't know about those two. And I would do some salad greens with it, but I don't think I have any. So actually, I do think I have some, but I think they are too, ooh, I can see the box. You guys like this close up? Too far gone. To the compost they go, because I have a compost now, so I don't have to throw away food. Woohoo! It's exciting. Okay, you're gonna be hearing the washer in the background making that very annoying washing sound. But I got dressed because I have to go help set up the concession stand for the track meet. And I bought a giant bag of laundry detergent. Also, I forgot to tell you guys that I bought this from Azure Standard too. It's the Country Save laundry detergent. Anyway, I love it. I used to use it a couple of years ago, and I don't know why I stopped using it. Probably because I didn't want to have to drive so far to pick up my Azure Standard order. That's probably what it was. So anyway, I swear, she has to go out every time I turn the camera on. She's like, okay, she's vlogging. I'm going outside now. So I put it in this bucket. Welcome to my mudroom slash laundry room. Laundry's laundering. Okay, so I put it in this bucket. Ta-da! Which is what it was in before, a couple years ago when I did it. And then I made a mess. So now I gotta vacuum. To be organized. There and there. It's on the list. I've showed you enough of my shame today that I won't show you that today. I'll save it for another day. Check it out. The sun is shining on my plant babies. It's happening. So nice. Thank you, sun, for shining. Guess who forgot to put the salt in her dough? It's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's all good. It's all good. I'll wash my hands real fast. And then throw some salt in the dough and run out the door. See, I'm telling you guys, if I can make sourdough, anybody can make sourdough. It is not hard. Sometimes part of the process is just remembering to do the next step. And sometimes when you forget it, you can always just like do it anyway, even though it's been 2 hours. It's not a big deal. Okay, so I have my bowl. You can see what it looks like. It has changed. The consistency has changed. It's still pretty wet, but it's not as wet as it was. So I'm taking my salt that I pre-measured earlier. It was 27 grams of salt. This is Himalayan salt. You can use whatever kind of salt you want. Whatever your preference is. Okay, I do have a head. I know. Hello. Okay, I don't even have my apron on. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to, and the consistency of this has changed. Look, do you see it's like all kind of solidified and turned into an actual dough now. It's not like chunky throw up like it was earlier. Now it's an actual dough. I could put this into a ball. I'll show you what it looks like once I kind of get this worked in, since I'm in a bit of a Rebecca. Yes, you guys. If I wasn't late for something, just wouldn't be a normal day, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I really wouldn't. I'd be like, what? I'm on time? I'm just joking. I think I'm gonna be on time. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's all good. Okay, so I've got this all kind of incorporated. I'm just kind of like stretching and folding the dough over. Stretching and folding the dough over. Let me see if I can grab my camera and show you what that looks like. And have sourdough all over my camera. So see, this is what it looks like. I've been stretching and folding. I wonder if I can show you if I set it. This is what it looks like now. Salt has been mixed in. See how it's kind of formed into like a ball? And I'm going to take my handy dandy Christmas towel. Who says Christmas towels are just for Christmas? Cover that up. And that is that. I'm gonna let it sit for the rest of the night and I'll show you the next step a little bit later. Hey, okay, it's that time of the night where I'm going to move my bread from the bowl to bread baskets. I'm actually going to take the dough out, shape it, and then once I get it shaped, I will put it into my bamboo bread baskets, and they are well floured, and I will actually flour these some more just in case to prevent sticking, because we do not want sticking. So join me for the process. So here's my dough, here's my counter, here's my bread baskets. I'm actually going to just pour this out onto my countertop, but first I'm gonna flour it so it doesn't stick. Just a reminder, this is how I do it. I'm not saying this is the only way. There are so many ways. Just know that. Okay, here we go. I thought I might turn the lights on for you guys. Okay, so right now I am just kind of stretching it and folding it over on my floured surface. And now I am going to kind of put it into like a little ball here, and I'm going to find a knife and I'm going to cut it in half, because this is actually going to make 2 loaves. Voila. You could, of course, weigh this and weigh each loaf to try to make sure that they're perfectly even. But again, that's not really my style. Okay, so now I have 2. Boop, and I am going to kind of get this one out of the way, and I'll show you how I'm going to shape it. Need a little bit more flour. So I'm just gonna kind of push it down, roll it up, and then pull it the other direction. Push it down, roll it up, push it the other direction, pull it, push it down, roll it up. So I'm gonna do that a few times until I get this nice flat surface on top. And then I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna start shaping it like a loaf of bread. Like if it was like a circle, like round. You just kind of want to be gentle. Essentially, you want to get this nice, tight part on the bottom. So it's, you just want the top to be nice and tight, but you don't want it to like rip or tear or anything like that. So just kind of keep going until it gets nice and pretty. And then once it's there, I'm gonna let it set for a second. And I'm gonna work on my other one. And then once this one is done, I'm gonna just kind of let them sit in this form for just a few minutes while I get the bread baskets floured again, because I gotta have lots of flour in those bread baskets, so that way when I put my bread in the fridge overnight and I take it out, it's not super stuck to the bread baskets. Ta-da! So see, I have 2 just round loaves, and they're pretty smooth on top. Look, you can see the bubbles kind of starting to form. That's good. This one was a little trickier, but just know, it doesn't have to be perfect. And also, this is the way I do it. There are a million ways, I think, to do this. Okay, it's not even that late. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, but it's very like we're setting the mood in our house for bedtime. Macy goes to bed like around 8, and Greg has actually left to go pick up Levi because he had a baseball game tonight. So I'm gonna take my bread baskets. I'm just gonna kind of shake out the loose flour over the sink, because there might just be a little bit of loose flour. And then I'm going to take my little scoopy scoop. These are my grandma's. And just scoop a little bit of flour into my bread baskets, and then just kind of like shake it around to coat the bread basket. I think I got these bread baskets on Amazon, so I'll make sure to leave a link in the description below so you guys can grab them. I'm going to take my loaves and kind of shape them, make them a little bit tighter. Same thing, going around and around right before I plop them into the bread baskets. So just kind of get them nice and shaped, and then I'm just gonna pick it up and plop it in the basket. Gently, of course. Not like a really, you know, aggressive plop. Okay, same thing on this one. Pick it up and gently plop. Okay, now I gotta clean this up. Very last step of the day is to put these little loaves of bread into the fridge, and then I just cover them back up with their Christmas towel that they were covered with all day today. And I'm just gonna leave them in the fridge overnight. They will continue the fermenting process in the fridge. However, it will be much slower than if they were, I'm moving things around, much slower than if they were sitting on the counter, because I don't want them to overrise. Okay, so got one of these going in the fridge. As you can see, they're both in here, and I have their Christmas towel, so I'm just going to cover them with the Christmas towel, and I'll show you what it looks like. They're all tucked in for the night. Good night, little sourdough babies. I think that's it for today. So what I'll do tomorrow is I will preheat my oven tomorrow to 500 degrees and I will bake. So I'll show you how I do that on tomorrow's video, so stay tuned for that. I'll make sure to put the recipe below in the description, and hopefully all of the things and links that I talked about today. That is the goal. So anyway, okay, well, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you tomorrow.